You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is the 1st of January 2025. It's a new year and a new season of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. But it's basically going to be the same old rubbish. It's just going to be me sort of faffing around, hopefully using this as a way of motivating myself to write more frequently than I would if I didn't do this. Mixed bag of success last year. So the first half of the year, it really did work. And the second half of the year, not so much. But then I really struggled with lots of things in the second half of the year. But that's fine. So I've just flown back from Phoenix again. I talked about Phoenix last time and a little bit before that. And indeed, I go there one more time on the 5th of January, hopefully, because I feel utterly awful. I've got a really bad cold. In fact, I'm about to take a COVID test just to be on the safe side. I don't honestly believe it's that, but I have not felt this rough and coldish for a very long time. It doesn't actually sound too bad now, but earlier today I sounded really, before I started work, I sounded really croaky and horrible, but then I didn't feel quite as rough as I do now. So anyway, so I'm working from the 5th to the 8th, and then that's it for this month. I'm not working anymore this month. In fact, I'm not working until at least, at the earliest, the 3rd of February, which is when I'm guessing I'm going to have my annual training, because my licenses all run out at the end of, end of January, which means I can't fly until I've had that training. So yes, I'm assuming it'll be the 3rd of February. Might be a bit later than that. It won't be earlier than that because I've got time in lieu and days off and leave and bits and pieces booked until then. But yeah, so yes, this is the opening show of Season 2. I'm not going to number them 201. I'm basically going to number them back down to start with 1. So this is Season 2, Episode 1. And as I said, what's going to be different this year is that I'm going to set myself some targets and goals each month. So I've got 3 little targets I'm going to set myself this month, all of them very achievable. In fact, I'm hoping, what with not being at work, to actually overachieve. But the targets I'm setting myself are as follows. So firstly, complete the current chapter and then the next chapter of the of Empress of the Trees. I nearly said The Diary of a Wannabe Writer then. No, Empress of the Trees. Now, I'm in the middle of a chapter which is either going to be a massive chapter or is going to become 2 chapters. So if I end up turning it into 2 chapters, I need to finish this one and write another 2. So that should leave me, by the end of this month, only the epilogue to write. So yes, basically the target is to get everything done apart from the epilogue on the first draft of Empress of the Trees. Target number 2. I was supposed to do it a little while back and I didn't. I need to have submitted, got back into the habit of submitting English Hikikomori to some agents. Now, I've got a list of agents. In fact, I've got a whole bloody great big book full of them, although the book is a couple of years old now, so I might actually go and buy the latest edition of the Writers and Artists Yearbook. And then I'll just keep sending the book to the agents listed in there, see how it all turns out. So that's target number 2, to get back into the habit of regularly submitting the English Hikikomori to literary agents. And number 3 is a simple little one, really. I've finally had another idea for one of my Doctor Who / The Bill crossover short stories. There's actually a little audio reading of one of them as a bonus between Christmas and New Year that's just gone out. So go and have a listen to that. It's called Dead Presumed Missing. But I've had an idea to set one. I've set one in the first and third series of The Bill, but I haven't set one during the second yet. Now the second is about 1986. And so I've decided to write a short story about a certain young Dorothy McShane, who is this very young, probably 16-year-old kid who has fallen in with the wrong crowd and is in deep trouble with the police. And Dorothy McShane is the person who becomes the Doctor's companion, Ace. But that's her real name. And yeah, I think I would like to write a story exploring her in trouble with the police. She's actually been stitched up. She's not really done anything, but she's pissed off a couple of the wrong people. And it's going to have a future Doctor realising who it is, realising she can't really get convicted because it would muck up the future timeline, and sort of trying to do his best behind the scenes to help her out. It's a bare bones of an idea. I shall develop it over this month and hopefully write it this month. Excuse cough. So there we go. Yeah, that's my plan for this month. So just to reiterate, get everything done but the prologue on Empress of the Trees. Get back into the habit of submitting the English Hikikomori to agents, and finally to write my short story, which I think is going to be I haven't decided what it's going to be called yet, but yeah, it's going to be a little story featuring Ace before she becomes a companion, and meeting a Doctor who is a much later Doctor than her Doctor. So in fact it will have to be therefore Paul McGann or one of the new series Doctors. Anyway, I don't want to massively overdo this first show. The only other thing I will say is I'm feeling really, really rough. I wanted to do one today because it's the first day of the year. If I've got nothing to say tomorrow, I will not do one tomorrow. So basically, until I feel a bit better, I'm not going to. But I will be back on a daily basis as soon as I feel better. At the very latest, it'll be after my trip to Phoenix, although I suspect it'll be before that. So the very latest, I'll be back in a week. But Happy New Year. Thank you for staying with me. And I'll talk to you hopefully quite soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.